Hello and welcome to C3 SoftWorks Build a Game Live with the BRAVOZONE. My name is Tristan and I'm an account executive here at the BRAVOZONE. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Billionaire template. I'm going to be showing you how to build from scratch a Billionaire game and show you what it looks like when it is delivered. So to start off, this is the landing page for the BRAVOZONE. We have our templates here, as well as some other information down at the bottom with help and sample games and things such as that. But we're going to be working with Billionaire today. Now, our templates can be used in instructor-led or self-paced modes. Some templates can do both. For example, if I was to click on instructor-led, this highlights all the templates that can be used in instructor-led. And then I click on self-paced, and these are all the templates that can be used in self-paced. You'll notice that Billionaire, along with a few others, was highlighted for both. So I'm going to click on Billionaire here. We have a video that gives us a brief description of Billionaire, as well as the rundown of what the game is like. I'm going to click Start, and here we have the 5 steps to creating this template. All of our templates use the same 5 steps. So if you can create in one template, you can create in all of them. So our first step is going to be to give this a title. So we're going to call this Build a Game Live and Billionaire. Next, I'm going to select whether I want this to be instructor-led or self-paced. I can go back and change this at any time, along with the name, of course. I'm going to select instructor-led for right now and click Create. Here's where we add in our questions. I can click here to add content, or if I have previously used the question editor to put questions into my question library, which I've already done, I can select those questions and drag and drop them over there. I have previously added in some content for this Billionaire template, along with some graphics and videos and things of that nature. I'm going to create a question right now, however, so I can show you how that goes. And you'll notice, since we are playing the Billionaire game template, the questions go up in point value the more questions that are there. So I'm going to add a question here, and we're going to make it a true or false question. I have these 4 types to choose from, by the way. And the true or false question is going to be simply, today is a great day. Is that a true or false statement? I'm going to say true. If I want to have an Ask an Expert helpline for this, much like the TV show, I can put in something as a hint. So I could put something like the day of the week ends in Y. That's our hint that, yes, it is a great day. Maybe not the best hint I've ever done, but that is the hint that I've enabled. Now, if I want, I can bookend this question with preview or summary slides, where I can give some context to the question that I just wrote. I can also follow it up with some reinforcement, which helps this be more of a learning tool than just merely a game. We want to reinforce the information that our participants are experiencing through gamification. You'll also notice that we have some basic text editing functions in here, and we can even insert a link if we'd like to do so. I can add media or audio to this. If I wanted to add audio, I can use those file formats and simply add that from my hard drive by clicking here. I can record directly on the program, can link to a website, or if I previously uploaded something, I have that in my media library. If I happen to be working on a different computer, because you can log into the BRAVOZONE from anywhere, that makes it very handy. Adding media looks much the same as adding audio. We accept these file formats. Click there to add it from your hard drive from something you've saved from somewhere else, or you can link to a website or a YouTube video. And finally, the media library, if I previously uploaded something. So I'm going to add some media here to my question that we just wrote. I'm going to click here to add it from my hard drive here. And I am just going to add some lightning. It'll take a second, depending on your internet connection, for this to finish uploading. In the meantime, I would like to recommend using the question editor to upload your questions and answers or create them ahead of time. It makes the creation process of one of these templates much faster, and I will show you that at the end here. So I've added my graphic. If I want to see what this looks like, I can preview it. This is what my participants will see when they encounter this true or false question. And if I'd done a summary or preview slide, those would be there as well. Those are attached to the question. So when you move the question around or move it to and from your library, the preview and summary slides move with it. So it's kind of a moving 3-in-1 type thing. Lastly, I can adjust a few settings here. I can show the correct response percentages, or actually the actual response percentages for each answer. So I can see those as an instructor. Since we're doing instructor mode, that's very handy for me to address issues that might crop up during a presentation. If everyone gets a question wrong, or a lot of people do, I can address that right there in my presentation. I can even decide if I want to show the answers as they're submitted and coming in, so people have a chance to maybe change their answer if they see everyone is going one direction and they were going the other. But I'm going to leave that off here, and I'm going to leave the percentages on. I'm going to save the question, and there I have it saved and added as my big 500-point question. We can also export these questions instead of clicking this box. I can also click export to library and bring these questions over to the library to save for later use. I can download these questions in PDF or CSV format so I can share them with other people. Maybe I need my spelling checked, my grammar checked, or even my content checked. Maybe I'm not a content expert and I'm asked to create a template or a quiz in the BRAVOZONE, but I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. This lets someone else check in on what I am doing. I can either click the next button or go to graphics here. I'm going to click next. Here I can upload a custom logo so we can personalize this a little bit. So I'm going to add something again, and you can notice it is much the same way as you would see any other upload of graphics or anything like that. And my custom logo is going to be the OSHA logo. Upload is complete. I can mess around with the fonts if I so desire. I'm not going to touch that today. And I can even customize the introduction screen. Again, personalizing it however I wish. So thank you for attending today. I'm going to add a little bit of media. And here, again, this is going to look very similar to things you've seen with my previous addings of media. Here I uploaded a GIF. So that will be my customized introduction screen. Now on the options, I can choose if I want people to use their smartphones, tablets, computers, whatever they have that's electronic and connected to the internet to reply and participate, or I can choose voice mode. If I choose voice mode, then people will be responding using their voices, and I can go through the quiz that way. It will involve a little bit more of your audience and have a more lively presentation in my experience, but you don't gather as much data as in when you're getting the answers direct from individual devices. Billionaire is a teams only game, so people are divided into teams. I'm going to select 2 teams there. I can customize the name, the color, and even the logo there if I want. So I'm going to use a team avatar here, and I'm going to choose something out of the bots. That's going to be that bot, and this one, I'm going to choose bots again. We're going to go with that bot. I can choose, along with like the TV show, if I want to have the 50-50 option there for people to use that option. If they need help with an answer, of course, that won't apply to true false questions. I can also enable the Ask an Expert, where in some of the questions I previously created, I have Ask an Expert turned on, and you'll see that when we play the game. So I can choose on the fly to have that as an available option. Oh, before I forget, going back to the question, since I was on that, when I'm creating a question here, I just want to make sure you see all the options there. There are 4 different question types available in Billionaire to choose from. Going back to options. I can run a timer, and I can even choose how long I want the timer to go for each question. I'm going to pick a relatively quick timer for this today. We're going to go with 10 seconds, and I want the points to go down as time elapses. I can customize the game text if I so desire. So what this means is anytime, say, the start button is on the screen, I can change that to a different word, or the next or back buttons, or the submit button. I can change that. I can even change something like points. So instead of earning 500 points for a question, for example, they could earn 500 turkeys. At the bottom here, this is what the users will see when they log in to the quiz or presentation that I'm building here. And this is the data I choose that I want to collect from them. I'm going to leave name there, but you can fill out those fields however you desire. Lastly, we're on the publish screen. Here is where I have a preview link. I can take a look at my questions and answers and see them with all their graphics, their GIFs, all in one spot. I can even send that to someone else if I want them to take a look at my work. Put a description here to easily find it with all my other created content. And if I have more than one builder for the BRAVOZONE in my organization, I can share this with them. That will allow them to have access to it and present it as well. The no sign-in required is on by default, and that means when people are signing in, this isn't checked with anything. They can type anything they want in here. They can make up a name, they could just put one letter or a number, and it's not going to stop them from doing so. But once I select sign in required, now if we go back, if they haven't previously played a sign in required game for the BRAVOZONE, they'll have to register, and that's a name, email, and password. Then in future instances where sign in required is turned on, they will just log in. This is really beneficial for when you have something serious like an assessment or a test where you need to make sure that you have an accurate record of who is taking that test or that assessment. But by default, no sign-in required is on. You can always change that as well. There's some other editing things here to mess with, like who has permission to edit this if I chose to share it. And if I'm doing sign-in required, if I want to allow other people that are new to register or only people that have registered beforehand. I'm going to click publish. Now this link, the instructor license link, is live and ready to go. I can then copy this, embed it somewhere, like in a PowerPoint presentation, or I can just open it directly from here with this link. I'm going to choose to go with practice mode here today, so we can see what this looks like. So I'm going to click practice. It's going to start up just like we were playing. It opened up a new tab on my browser. Here's my instructor screen where I can change some things at the last minute if I choose to do so, such as the amount of teams, the names of the teams, and to automatically assign people to the teams rather than letting them choose. I'm going to click start. Here is my customized welcome screen here. And you'll notice at the bottom, there is a URL and an instructor ID or presenter ID. That is what will be at the bottom of every single one of these slides. So if someone arrives late, they can always use that to log in and they don't have to wait and sit there and not participate. They can hop right in whenever they get there. You're on the next screen. This is a QR code. So people were patient and didn't hurriedly type this in on the first screen. They can scan this with their camera and it will log them in with all of this information. I'm going to add 10 automated participants. Notice it evenly populated the teams, and I can even add another 10 if I so desire. You can add really as many as you'd like as far as I've tried here in the practice mode. Okay, so we have our start. We're going to click on the first question. For 100 turkeys, timer's on. This is my preview slide. Side dishes can elevate a main course, and potatoes are one of the most popular. Potatoes have been used for 8,000 years as a food for humans. Setting up the question here, and the question is coming up next. What is the best way to store potatoes? I have a bunch of different options here. You saw the bar filling up as people answered. If I want, I can hover over this bar with my pointer, and it will show me who I'm waiting on to respond to the question. Here we have the breakdown of the answers for this question. Of course, B is the correct answer, and we'll find out here right there. So we saw the percentages, how it broke down from our audience, and then it gives us the right answer. Here I've uploaded a GIF. Again, this is my summary slide where I add some context to the question, reinforcing the information that I'm hoping people retain from my presentation. Teams tied for the first question. Question 2. People are often divided about cranberries. Some people love them, others not so much. Here is a meme I found online, thought that was slightly appropriate. We have our timer going. Here I have the mock participants. I can see we're waiting on. Here is their answers for that true, false. And cranberries grow in water, not fields. That is false. Here I've linked to a YouTube video and given another fact about cranberries. Going back to the previous one, if you're curious, they flood the fields to make it easier to harvest the cranberries. That's why TV commercials and things like that show people wading through water when they're harvesting cranberries. But they're actually grown in normal fields in kind of wet, soggy area that's easy to be flooded. And then they more easily harvest the cranberries. This is the song Linger by the Cranberries. And you can have a YouTube video play for as long or short as you like. You can go to full screen if you so desire. But this is a way to integrate YouTube into your teaching. I've uploaded a song here. This is the audio option for uploading audio. Besides the USA, which countries celebrate Thanksgiving? Select all that apply. Multiple options there. And those are the 3 correct ones. Blue team looks like it's pulling ahead here. And that is a Brazilian dish for Thanksgiving because it is also unofficially celebrated in Brazil and Philippines. Thanksgiving, that is. This is a polling question. How do you celebrate Thanksgiving? You'll notice the points were counting down as the timer was going down there. So for 400 points, all people had to do was select up to 2 answers on how they celebrate Thanksgiving. And the final question. On the participant screen, since I did have hints enabled, you don't see them on the presenter screen, but the participants had options for 50-50 and ask an expert or the hint on the questions previous to this. There we have the celebration to Team Blue. How many questions they won. And you can see how individuals did. The top scores of the individuals. I can also go to this gear icon, turn the timer off anytime I want. I can show the top scoring users, or I can view all participants. I can even skip to the final question if we're running short on time, and then of course end the session. If I want to view all the participants, this shows how everyone did. So that's a handy feature besides just the top. Finally, one of my favorite parts here is the questions. This shows the questions that the participants had the most trouble with. So you as a presenter can address that right here at the end of the session and not have to wait a week or 2 for a report to be generated. So you can really dive in and figure things out in the moment while people still remember things. I'm going to click close here. That closes that tab, and we have created and played a game of Billionaire. Now, I promised I was going to show you the question editor, which is right up here. This allows me to add content in ahead of time. So I can click to add content just like if I was in one of the templates. And here I can add questions and build them out. I can even add the media and audio, preview and summary slides, and have that all set. So when I'm ready to build a game, it's all waiting for me inside of the library. I hope this was beneficial for you today, and I hope that you are now able to use Billionaire effectively in your presentations. It's a really good template for team building and getting people energized, especially when there's teams involved, or if you even use voice mode, that can be a fun little diversion where people are also learning and getting information reinforced. As always, my name is Tristan for C3 SoftWorks in the BRAVOZONE. You can reach out to us if you'd like a free trial, if you're not a current subscriber to our platform, or if you have any questions, you can reach us on our website, c3softworks.com. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.